My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody that is feeling like it was probably a difficult time between the two of you because they weren't really paying close attention to what they want, what they feel, or who they are. So we have someone who is either saying, as of right now, it's important for me to focus on that, or they have chosen to do so and have been working on that. But we also have another person here who is saying, can't we just like forget that ever happened? Can't we just like let go of the past and rewind, go back to where things were before we had that argument? So it feels to me like one person wants to take a more like healthy approach to the problem between this could be friends, this could be family members, or obviously this could be romantic. And the other person's just kind of like, why can't we just like put that out of mind and not worry about it? So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hello, Kikin Sholer. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. I think we will start with the Marigold Tarot. Let's see what we've got. Hello, Ramses. How are you doing? Nine of Cups in the reverse. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. I've only pulled two cards and they're both nines. Okay. And the Six of Cups. So we have someone who is unwilling to be stuck in a situation, realizing that maybe someone is codependent. Even though there's good memories here, the person who's saying I need some space, this is someone who acknowledges that there's a difference in how these two, wow. I've pulled 4 cards and 3 of them are nines. There's 78 cards and there are 5 nines. That's impressive. Okay, so we have somebody here who was willing to work on things and said, I just need to have some time and find out like what's going on really and like how do I feel, what do I want? And the other person backs down, doesn't really want to do much. So I feel like there's this decision to say, you know, I appreciate the time that we spent as friends or that, you know, the memories that we've made, but it doesn't feel like there is a common ground here in terms of how to approach this argument, or it doesn't feel like there is a way to navigate what you're looking for and what I'm looking for. Hello, Slidom. How you doing? Hello, I am. How are you? What else do we have? The Hierophant and the High Priestess. Technically, I think these are divine counterparts. That's interesting. Okay. So this is somebody who may have been secretive about a relationship. Is this somebody who was like a little bit dishonest? Like, oh, I'm separated, or oh, I'm divorced, but it wasn't really at that point yet? It looks to me like we've got someone who walked away because, you know, there's something that you could do here, but you're not doing it. They identified their person as being a bit codependent. And I feel like they were not honest about their relationship status or like who they were talking to or whether or not they were focused on this person. We're going to get some names for you. I do feel like this individual who just wants to forget the past is the High Priestess. Remember, that doesn't have to be a woman. But this is someone who was trying to keep things in the shadows. So, you know, being a little bit secret here. What else? Page of Pentacles in the reverse, 7 of Swords in the reverse. So unless you want to be honest with me, then I don't think I want to continue to be your friend, or I don't think I can continue to be close to you. There's too many times where you've said something and then it's turned out not to be true, or you've made a promise to be there for this or help out with that, and then you flake out. Hello, Melissa. How are you doing? Hello, Holy Ghost. What's up? Hello, Martin. How are you doing? What else? Two of Wands in the reverse. Four of Rings or Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles. I think this could be somebody who's coming back around because their side piece walked away. The Two of Wands is in the reverse. This is like something that they were not expecting or something they didn't really plan for. And the Four of Rings or Four of Pentacles in the reverse, we've got people who are like letting go, right? So this is like I have to maybe put in a little bit of work to get somebody to pay me attention or to, you know, be on the roster basically. This is the Hocus Pocus. Hey, April, how are you doing? Oh, I hope it goes well. What do we have next? Knight of Lightning, which is the Knight of Swords. Page of Lightning, Page of Swords. And the Nine of Candles or Nine of Wands in the reverse, which we had up here as well with the first tarot deck. Okay, so I'm going to say something. We'll see what your response is, and I'll know whether or not I want to invest or like work on this thing. But if you're going to be like withholding information or dishonest about what's going on, then I don't think I really want to be your friend. I don't think I really like want you in that inner circle, right? There's got to be trust. Four of Candles or Four of Wands in the reverse. This feels like someone saying, are you in a relationship? Were you in a relationship? Did you lie to me about being single? What was the timeline of this breakup or this relationship? I feel like that's what the question is. So whether this is two friends who are trying to see whether or not they can repair things, or two people who have been dating, we have a question mark as to like, are you dating this person? What time? Or like, when did that start? Were you like being disloyal at some point? Okay. So is this like friends dating their friends' exes? Five of Pentacles or Five of Pumpkins. And the Queen of Lightning in the reverse. I feel like this is someone saying, you know, I don't know whether or not I should really be a friend of yours because I don't think I can trust you around my exes. You wait for the right opportunity and then you flirt with those individuals, or, you know, you think it's okay to continue to be like in their life. I don't know, there's some weirdness here with like how you approach a friendship and their exes. Hello, ARW, how are you doing? We've got the Emperor. And the Six of Candles or Six of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, I think at a certain point you have to ask yourself, like, am I just putting myself in a situation where somebody is inevitably going to find an opportunity to, you know, betray the friendship or the relationship? This seems to be like, you know, I thought we had talked about this or we were on the same page, and then we're not. So when did you meet that person? When did you start dating? There's jealousy here. I wonder if we'll see the Queen of Wands in the reverse. Two of Swords or Two of Lightning. Knight of Potions, Knight of Cups, and the Moon. So let the past go. Don't get mad at me. Let's just be friends again, or, you know, move on. Did I talk to that person? Yes. Did I get that person's number? Yes. When? Around this time? I don't think they want to answer the question. This seems a little shady. Oops. All right, this is the tarot of the cat people. Hello, Jesse. Hello. Is it Lilo? How are you doing? Hello, Irma. What's up? All right, what else do we have? Oh, messy. Okay. Hermit in the reverse, 8 of Wands, 10 of Swords. Yeah, there's a betrayal here. I feel like there's someone who is sensing that a relationship is over and has interest in their friend's soon-to-be ex. So there's like flirtation before things are finalized. That's not a good thing for a friendship. Knight of Wands in the reverse, lust. 4 of Swords, someone's alone, you all are fighting, there's physical attraction, and this person's like, what do I call this? What's this pose? Hold on. I'll have it in a second. What's the name of the dude who did the chaos guy in Jurassic Park? You guys, this is driving me crazy. I should know his name. Actor. He had all the like wisecracks in Jurassic Park. Why can't I think of this guy's name? It's driving me crazy. What I'm trying to get at is this particular pose, okay? This is like someone who feels like maybe it's worth it to be a little bit not following the rules, or a little bit like careless. Hello, Roxanne. How are you doing? Oh, thank you, ARW. Let me know if you'd like me to answer a few questions for you, pull a few cards. Hello, Lemonade. What's up? Hello, James. Hello, Bendejo. Your name makes me laugh. What else do we have? 2 of Wands. Ace of Cups. This is someone who started a relationship with someone when they were already in a relationship, and I feel like they didn't travel very far to get that that hookup. And I do feel like it's somebody like acquaintances or friends. Three of Cups. 3 people. And the Chariot. There could have been someone's car outside an apartment and it looked a little bit strange as far as the timing. Like, oh, that's weird. I didn't know that you had a reason to be there. Or, hey, it's late. What you got going on over there? But I feel like timing, location, or somebody's vehicle has, you know, made it difficult to answer these questions without being obvious about there being potentially like a hookup or a one-night stand here. No, the chaos guy. Ooh, Goldblum. There it is, Jeff Goldblum. I feel like there's a lot of Jeff Goldblum pictures where he's like lounging like this, you know, like yeah, I see an opportunity. It looks like, you know, y'all are gonna break up anyways, so before you completely run and I never see you again, I might as well just like shoot my shot, right? um, yes. But for future reference, ARW, I don't need your birth date, so feel free to cancel or like remove that so that you don't have people knowing your stuff. You just have to let me know if you have a specific question. I'll do a general read and see what we've got for you. ARW, if it's your first time here, I do the personal questions after the general reading is done, and that's usually about 30 or 35 minutes in. Hello, Morning Star. Hello, St. Bernard. How are you doing? Well, welcome to the live chat. So I think this is someone who's willing to take a bit of a risk because they feel like it's worth it. They're like, yeah, there could probably be some fallout or there could be some problems here, but I'm going to take my risk. I'd rather have the story, you know, whatever. Maybe they'll get back together, but probably not, in which case this person's like, I just want to like try to see if I can get with that person. Ambitious. So ambitious. Hello, how's it going, Tina? It's true, key controller. So we have the 8 of Swords in the reverse and the 7 of Swords in the reverse. All right, so the question is, what makes this person finally say what really happened? I think we need the Gilded Reverie. It's true. You want to know if you find your true love? I can add that for you. All right. So it's 17 minutes in right now, so it'll probably be about 13, 15 minutes, something like that. And then I'll start. Jagger, I do private readings, and you can email me about it. It's in the description box, but it's wickedonestarot@gmail.com, and those start at $40 USD. All right, what else do we have? Sorry, guys. I don't know if somebody's like thinking about me or talking about me, but my nose is like real itchy. All right. What else do we have? Not shocking to see that we have the snake coming out or the moon, because both of these can talk about secrecy. We don't want to talk about, you know, what happened or the specifics. There might even be like a celebrity couple that I'm thinking about as far as like, when did you two first get together? Nobody wants to talk about it because it's not supposed to have happened at that point. Someone was not single. They just felt like they might have an opportunity because someone was seemingly on the brink of that breakup, right? Hello, April. How are you doing? Yes. Thank you. April Sunshine. All right, so we have number 33, which is the key, and number 19, the tower. Tower, in this case, is referencing a structure or an organization. I feel like this is the friend group. Now, it could also be like a friend group, right? But there's someone here who felt like they were able to find what they wanted and introduced to their friends the person that they wanted to be with. The problem was it started to, you know, make someone a little bit jealous. Started to offer up opportunities for flirtation between this person and the secretive friend, right? Let's just pretend that nothing happened. So we have avoidance. That's pretty accurate for what I just said, right? In the dance of shadows, I conceal and evade. Fear's veil keeps the distant in the dark, cool shade. So as long as I can avoid this conversation, as long as I don't have to tell you exactly what happened, or as long as I think that maybe there's a chance the person who like co-conspired with me, or, you know, whatever, as long as I feel like they're not going to tell the story, then maybe I can just kind of pretend that, you know, half of the story is okay. Hello, Monique. How are you doing? So we've got perfectionism and isolation. Okay. That makes sense because we did have somebody who says they want some time and space to themselves. Probably the friend who feels betrayed by the High Priestess. Perfectionism. In the pursuit of perfection, night after night, I've gifted myself 1,000 flaws. This feels like the person who's saying I need a little bit of time to myself. You know, it's not easy for this person to end connections, perhaps specifically this friendship, if it is, you know, a long-term one. But they're thinking, I need this time to myself to be able to decide whether or not this is something that I can actually forgive, considering it's kind of feeling to me like this person doesn't really feel bad about it, right? They're just kind of like, don't worry about that. It's not a big deal. Maybe it is. Maybe it helps someone understand whether or not you're actually a friend, you know? Hello, Scout. How are you doing? Hello, Pharaoh. How's your day? What else do we have? Past life. Deja vu, repeated patterns, karmic lessons, longing, craving, aching, wanting, and pain, apprehensive, afraid, and cautious. So, do we have a name for this person yet? The Emperor is the person who wants to find some time or have some space to themselves because they need to decide whether or not to still be friends with this person who doesn't really want to acknowledge what they did to be a bad friend. The Emperor, I feel, is realizing that there's been some repeated patterns of selfishness or not really being considerate of others. And it's calling into question whether it's worth it to consider or to still be friends with this High Priestess when they seem to really only prioritize whatever it is that they want, and they don't really seem to be too concerned with who they hurt or whether or not their friends feel betrayed by them. So, I mean, yeah, that would make anyone think about whether or not it's worth it, right? Gosh, seems like you did something that was disrespectful, or you're lying about it, or you're minimizing it by saying, can we just like forget about it? It's not that big of a deal. You don't like that person anymore anyways. Well, that's an interesting justification for pursuing someone that your friend is dating. So we have silence and divine masculine. I do feel like this is that Emperor, right? Divine masculine and Emperor would be very aligned, but also the fact that this person needs to have some space. I need to figure out if this is actually the friend group that I want to be involved with, or do I want to have like some higher standards, you know, like friends that I can rely on to not try to hit on somebody that I'm in a relationship with. Even if it is maybe the last couple of days of the relationship, seems like it would be nice to respect that distance, right? Not try to add to the problems. What else do we have? We have withdrawn, solitary, nourish, self-growth, self-focused, solitary. So this is that Emperor energy, right? In silence, not really wanting to engage with their friend because it seems like they don't really seem to care too much about what problems were caused and whether or not the relationship that was considered to be pretty important by this Emperor was ruined or impacted negatively by the lustful approach from this Knight of Wands in the reverse or the High Priestess, the person who didn't really want to talk about what happened. So, yeah, I don't think this person really cares for accountability. I don't think they want to admit that they hit on their friend's boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife because they know that if they were to really talk about what happened, it would probably be something that ended maybe even more than one friendship, right? Might be more than just this. There might be other people in the social group who are like, oh, is that how it is? Because I thought I could trust you. I thought you were a friend, but here it is. You're just this person who's hiding their own intentions or has like ulterior motives. Maybe you smile to my face, but you're plotting behind my back kind of thing, right? There's probably going to be other people who don't want to be associated with them if that kind of thing gets out. Yep. So there's concern here about reputation. If you tell everybody what happened or If you don't forgive me, then other people won't want to hang out with me either because of like, you know, what you said about what I did. It's like, no, it's actually probably more so like what they did. So we have some toxic energy here, and I feel like the Emperor is over it. Just kind of like, well, why should I put up with this? I feel like this is something that you should have been able to deal with a long time ago. It's because the High Priestess is avoidant of their healing and doesn't really like to acknowledge that there are things they should have done differently or handled better. Whereas this Emperor seems to be pretty solid at doing exactly that. So this High Priestess is losing out or feeling like there is multiple areas of their life that are being impacted by their choice to betray this friend. I do feel like there's multiple friends who are like, I don't know about this. And there could also be an impact to this person's financial status or their work life, especially if it was somehow associated with this group of people. All right, let's see what we've got from the situations deck. What else do we have? Hello, Tay. How are you doing? Hello, Junior. Yes, it is the one with the black hat. It's cool, too, because every once in a while I forget that it kind of, like, glows in the dark. And then, you know, I'm in a dark room. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? I got a flashlight. We've got the pressure cooker and single card coming out, along with pretending. Okay, so somebody was trying to pretend that they did not do any kind of horizontal mamboing until the relationship was ended. But we have somebody who is pretending because I know it's going to start an argument. I don't want you to know exactly when it was that I started like flirting with your person or you know, feeling like I had a right to pursue something like them. So they hid their interactions or their interest in each other. And then I feel like this journal is that communication where the relationship actually ended. And at that point, I feel like it became more obvious that there was somebody else. Yeah, forbidden love. This is like, ooh, okay, so you didn't even like wait. You just went right for that person that was just in a relationship with your best friend or with your close friend. I do think there are some people who stopped being friends with this person as soon as they heard this. But they're trying to make it seem like it's more justifiable or it doesn't look as bad by claiming that it was a different date that they started pursuing this person. But just kind of looks like they're not a very good friend. All right, I'm going to pull a few from the Burning Heart Love Oracle. That seems like a good idea, Melissa. On to the next, right? Next chapter. All right, what else do we have? This is probably going to be from the High Priestess, but we'll see. You tame my demons. I'm holding on to the memories of us. Yeah, I feel like this is more of a friendship vibe. You know, like I was trying to be a better person because you were a good influence in my life. I think back on how long we've been friends and, you know, all the fun memories that we have. But I know that maybe I've like ruined things because I've been toxic. They're saying they don't want to be toxic anymore, but is it true? Is it just like to get this Emperor to be their friend again? I'm ready to take my mask off. And I don't feel like I deserve you. Yeah, these I feel were pretty close friends. Maybe they've known each other like since childhood or something. Ooh, my table was like falling. Maybe they have gone through a lot together or, you know, met in high school or college or whatever. But this is somebody who's saying, I've not really been myself around you, and I don't think that I've been a very good friend to you. But I also don't want to lose that friendship that I have with you. So I don't know. I do think that it's smart for the Emperor to be taking some time and figuring out what they really want and figuring out if they can actually trust this High Priestess, because they have not been very trustworthy up until this point, right? It's been pretty untrustworthy energy because they didn't want to be honest about what really happened and they didn't want to take accountability, right? Oh, thank you. Hello, Vixen. How are you doing? Did I say hello to Eric? Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Oh, that's... I feel like there's a better place for you to do that, right? You want to, like, find one of those spots. All right. What else do we have? This is the Gypsy Oracle, by the way. Ooh, I think I just saw the Soldier. We have cheerfulness. Somebody who was partying, having a good time, maybe even traveling or hanging out at their friend's place. And then they get some googly eyes or feel very attracted to somebody. I think this is someone who's trying to like blame it on the alcohol, like Jamie Foxx said. Trying to say like, oh, it's not really my fault. It seemed like the two of you were over, or that person told me that, you know, y'all had already broken up, but you hadn't, and they probably didn't. So it does look like the Emperor is leaning towards maybe this is not a friendship that I should be investing in anymore. It seems to me like, you know, I was willing to put more into the friendship than this person. We have constancy in the reverse. So it's like, I've seen the pattern of behavior. You seem to just kind of think about yourself and not really worry about consequences, even when those consequences are going to hurt or upset your best friend. So that seems like a poor choice as far as how you approach things, right? All right, I'm going to move over to those personal questions. I've got ARW up, and this is the Graffiti Tarot. Oh, do me a favor, Vixen. Don't repeat the question too often, please. That's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. We could do it like that every 30 seconds, right? All right, so for ARW, we'll do a general read first and then find like the question about finding your true love. What does ARW need to know, please? We have the Hierophant in the reverse, the Ace of Cups, the Devil in the reverse, and the Nine of Wands in the reverse. So this feels like an unconventional pairing or romantic relationship. With the Devil in the reverse and the Nine of Wands in the reverse, I feel like we have at least one person here, if not both, approaching this connection and feeling like they're able to be their vulnerable selves. They don't have to pretend to be something else. But there is a third party who does not approve or who does not want these two to be happy in a relationship. Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands. Six of Wands in the reverse. King of Swords and the Sun. I feel like there's someone here who's realizing, at least within the next like 2 weeks here, if not already, that somebody has created a problem between you and them and made it seem like the two of you could not be together, or that it wasn't a thing that should happen. It feels kind of like contrived, like I said this specifically because I didn't want you two to think that you should be together, or specifically to get that person to not be interested in you anymore. Okay, so is this love? It could be friendship, but I feel like with the Hierophant and the Ace of Cups, that makes it seem more like this is romantic love. Five of Cups, Five of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, this is someone who was jealous of how someone felt about you, so they created a problem for you. And what about like career, money, anything on that side? We have the Tower in the reverse, the Two of Cups in the reverse, Knight of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. I do feel like with regards to money or like career, there's someone who is taking action without really thinking about it as much as they should regarding like a partnership or how they deliver, right? So this could be like an exclusivity agreement between companies as far as suppliers, logistics, things like that. But there is probably like a breakdown in communication or even a cancellation of a contract that someone is being quiet about. It's like, I don't want there to be an overreaction or like a reaction at all. We've got to wait for the right moment to tell people that we don't have this contract anymore or that we, don't have the same money coming in. We do have with the Five of Pentacles a sense that maybe there's going to be like layoffs or, we have to pay you less or there's going to be like reduced hours. Somebody's being a little bit tight-lipped about the actual state of affairs for the finances or the like job security. So we've got Seven of Cups in the reverse, Four of Cups in the reverse, and the Ace of Swords. I feel like your intuition or something that you overhear or see tells you that there's something concerning here before most of the other people around you pick up on this financial or like professional concern. And because of your curiosity, you're able to kind of validate or get that confirmation. So this is enabling you to jump before things get crazy. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Wiped Out or Wipeout. I confuse it sometimes because The Neighborhood also has an album called Wiped Out. But there was a show and it's a stupid like bouncy ball water park like challenge where you have like a certain amount of time and you compete against other people, but a lot of people just get like, bounced off a giant dodgeball into the water, and like, I don't know, yeah, I was gonna say foam, like arms coming for you. This is like you get the right timing to avoid whatever could be headed towards that spot. So follow that instinct. And with the Nine of Swords, I do feel like there's someone here who is kind of targeted or should be learning a lesson from whatever this fallout is. And what about finding true love? What does ARW need to know about finding true love? When or how? Hello, James. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. What do we have? We have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, the Empress and the Star. I love that card. And the High Priestess with the, what was that? Seven of Swords. So this is saying there is somebody here that I do feel like you're going to meet, and initially there may be something a little bit intimidating about this person. There may be something that you do really well that this person's clueless about, and there may be something like opposite, right? So you might have this kind of like, wow, you do that and I can't do that at all. But you bring different things to the table, so it's a really good balance between the two of you. I do also think that this is somebody who enables you to be who you really are. You don't have to feel like there's any need to act a certain way. And this is also somebody who's been working on their healing. I feel you're both able to approach emotional connection in a mature way. But this is also saying that when this love happens for you, and I do feel like it's going to be like late springtime, the important thing to keep in mind here is that you don't need to be telling everybody that you're getting into a relationship, or you don't need to be posting it online. Maybe just talk to the person, right, that you're dating to see what they want. But it's important to not let people know about it if they have intentions on causing problems for you. Hey Vixen, yeah, I did a longer reading for ARW because $20 is a really generous tip, so I wanted to make sure that I really dug into those questions, so I hope that helps ARW. I did also just notice the Justice card fell out as well, so there could be a choice for you in love where, being kind of reserved or quiet on what's going on in your love life will benefit you or make that situation easier, okay? All right. That's a pretty big question there, Bradley. I would say in general, I think it's important to be open-minded because there's a lot of things that we don't know about. And I also feel like there are like dark attachments, things that can get people stuck. And I do think that there's a lot of interesting science out there about that. So it's important to feel good about how you interact with people around you. It's important that you feel like you're being your best self in order to deal with all of that, right? You're so welcome, ARW. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Let's see. Hello to Safarali. I probably said that so wrong. I'm really sorry if I did. So is it Courtness or Courtney S? Said it was your first time here. Let's see what we've got for you. We have the Page of Swords, information or communication coming in for you. This is a loving energy, somebody who wants to say something sweet to you. I feel like they want to protect what it is that they have with you or how they feel. And this person is going through a change. This could be somebody who has previously been pretty non-committal. Somebody who has said the right things but not necessarily backed that up with the right actions. But as I said, they're going through a bit of a change, and I do feel like you're going to see that they have a little bit more appreciation for the connection that they have with you and what that means they should be working on. So there may be a little bit of distance or separation while this person works on things. You may feel like this person has decided to move forward with somebody else. But I think this is more so I'm trying to see if I can actually do what I need to do to work on myself to be with this person. And I haven't figured out how far I'll get with that. I haven't figured out if I'm going to like do the right thing yet. So this is kind of like saying, you know, let the person work through, focus on the things that you have in front of you. And if they end up doing the work that they need to, then you might be able to have a better connection or a more emotional connection, right? Hey, what's up, Rachel? How are you doing? Hello, Sasha. How's your day going? All right, let's see what we've got for Monique. What is Ruben's problem with me? Oh, I'm so sorry. What is it that has Ruben so upset with Monique, please? Why is Ruben upset with Monique? We have the Fool, the Nine of Pentacles, the World, Four of Wands, and Five of Pentacles in the reverse. This feels like somebody who is angry over a situation or a chapter being over. Maybe even feeling a little bit lonely or feeling like, is this an ex of yours? Because it kind of feels like this is somebody who's saying like, I don't want to be forgiving. I'm mad at you because you ended the relationship. Or I'm mad at you because you didn't do things the right way. I don't know. This is like hot and cold with the Three of Cups and the Two Cups in the reverse. This is like one day I want to be hanging out and, you know, talking about all sorts of things with you. And the next day it's like, get away from me. Does this person have something else going on? I think this is somebody who wants to kind of punish you for something. What's the resentment? King of Wands in the reverse, Knight of Wands. I feel like this is somebody who looks at you and feels that you make more effort for someone else or you prioritize the wrong things or the wrong people. This feels like somebody who thinks that you have slighted them. So it's like, I thought you were nice. And now I see you differently, right? We used to have this. if there was an argument or falling out and then you got back and like repaired things, it was never repaired in this person's mind. They were just like, I'm still mad at you. But at least now I can like watch you. At least now you're right here. I don't like that. I feel like this is someone who doesn't really appreciate or want to see the things that you do to offer companionship or consistency or loyalty. This is kind of a negative mindset here. Let's see, what do we want? When do we want it? Hello, HM, how are you doing? Hello, James. So HM is asking, with the no contact situation, what will happen with the communication? So for HM, will this no contact situation go back to contact? It looks fairly likely this will remain in no contact. Somebody is extremely like trenched in, like I don't want to make things better. I don't want to solve the problem. Four of Swords and the reverse. This is like, nope, I don't want to talk to you again. I'm going to focus on other things. I'll be very distracted. I'm not going to even hear it if you call me. Is this going to change? There's a possibility for recovery, but it's in the distant future. It's not like in the next couple of weeks. This is somebody who is feeling like there are other things for them to focus on. They're not really like wanting to get to a point where it's like, oh goody, now I feel like I can communicate. Yes, there is a possibility of communication with the Page of Wands, but I feel like it would be like literally like maybe a year from now because we have a globe. This is someone who right now feels like there's nothing you can do to make me less mad at you. I'm just, wow, that was really Minnesotan. I'm just gonna like let that anger envelop me right now. That's where they're at. So focus on the things that are important to you and hopefully they can process that anger and let go of it a little bit more quickly. All right, I'm gonna leave it there, y'all. I love you. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for liking and or subscribing or hyping, and I will see you on the next reading.